Hey everybody, it's Delta Shiny Zeta here bringing you a new Yu-Gi-Oh series, and this one is also due to a lot of just popular recent requests. Really in the last month or month and a half or so, I've gotten a lot of comments about making these very interesting type of custom card review videos for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a thing that a lot of other Yu-Gi tubers are also doing. They've been doing it for the past couple years or so, and I was like, you know what, that might actually be a great idea. Okay, so before we begin, I will say one thing. If this series does become popular enough from all of you watching it and commenting and liking it and so on and so forth, I will actually be accepting custom card submissions through either Twitter or Instagram. I will be talking about that at the end of the video, so if you're interested in actually submitting your custom cards and me showcasing them here on my channel on YouTube, make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I will be talking about the rules for that. So that if it becomes popular, so it's also important that you go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe as well for that to see if the series does actually kick off or not. I'm starting with one particular custom card creation in this video that one of my friends, my real life friends, actually went ahead and did about 3 or 4 months ago, and he was like, oh, wouldn't this be so cool? And I looked at them briefly and I was like, you know what, it's kind of interesting. So I actually asked him last week to send them to me so I can go ahead and use a custom card review for this video. So here we go, and it's actually based around Marvel. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with Marvel, the franchise, the comics, the MCU, and so on and so forth. So why not combine Marvel with Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I think there's like 9 cards here that he went ahead and made about 3 months ago or so. So let's take a look at these one at a time. And one thing I will ask from all of you, just to kind of make this a little bit more fun. I mean, obviously you can leave whatever comment you want, right? But I would also be curious if for these custom card videos you go ahead and mention which one you think is the worst card and which one you think is the best card from each of these custom card videos. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. The first one is Marvel Hero Captain America. So it's an Earth, that makes sense. I'm familiar with Marvel quite a lot. Level 4, it's a warrior, 1000 attack and 2100 defense, so it's more like a defense oriented card. One of the things that I will say already is that the word hero is capitalized, which means that these cards in this custom card review are actually all compatible and are supported by hero support cards. Cards that support, quote, hero in all caps in general, like for example, Elemental Hero Stratos. Stratos can search all these Marvel hero cards, because it's a hero card. Anyway, so it's a warrior. It says, if this card is normal summon, change this card to defense position and add 1 level 4 or lower Marvel hero monster from your deck to your hand. That's already a pretty good effect. Normal summon, change it to defense mode, which makes sense because it has more defense. You're going to be defending more than attacking with this thing. And then you get a search. You get an archetype search. There is a limitation. It's level 4 or lower, and specifically Marvel hero, not hero, Marvel hero, from deck to your hand. Cool. Your opponent cannot attack Marvel hero monsters you control for attacks, except Marvel Hero Captain America. Okay. That second effect is, it's mediocre protection. It's only attacks protection. They can still be targeted by card effects. They can still be destroyed by card effects, and so on and so forth. That's mediocre. But this would still be a good card because it's a search. It's a search on normal summon. But this does have to be normal summon. So if there's other Marvel heroes that have to be normal summon to trigger effects, that can create a problem in the archetype because you need to know what your priority is for normal summoning. It doesn't have a once per turn, but it doesn't need it because it has to be normal summon, so it's kind of redundant. Unless you use cards like double summon, I guess you can get 2 searches in 1 turn, but that costs you another card. Anyway, double summon, right? Okay, this one's pretty nice, I would say. I like the search. Pretty cool. Okay, the next one is Marvel Hero Black Cat. So I don't know if there's going to be some kind of synergy thing. Like I said, I briefly saw these about 3 or 4 months ago. I remember very vaguely a couple of their effects, but in general I have no idea. I'm looking at them right now for the first time and just kind of interpreting, what I think in general. But, okay, so it's a dark, this one's a level 5. It's a fiend. I guess that makes a little bit more sense. I mean, it's either fiend or warrior for Black Cat. It's a somewhat revealing picture. Oh yeah, of course, some people are gonna like that. Anyway, so it says you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in attack position by tributing 1 monster they control. It's kind of like a kaiju. Nice. It's a kaiju. Okay, specifically from your hand. Okay, nice problem-solving card texture with the parentheses from your hand. Very modern, like that. Once per turn, during your standby phase, reveal your hand and one set card you control, if any. Okay, I kind of get it, and this does kind of work thematically with what Black Cat does. Isn't Black Cat supposed to kind of like be like an infiltrator kind of thing, like stealth and all that? Kind of makes sense. Goes to your opponent's side and then gives you information. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. So it's a kaiju attributing a monster. It doesn't prevent you from normal summoning or setting, unlike older cards that, you know, had kaiju effects like Lava Golem and Volcanic Queen and stuff, so that's good. You can still normal summon, set, and special summon. And then once per turn, you would, I guess the one downside is, you would bring out Black Cat to your opponent's field, but then, if you actually want to use the effect of knowing information, you then can't destroy Black Cat. So I think that's the problem that ends up balancing the card in general, because if it was like immediately on the summon, that'd be pretty cheap, because it'd give you information, and there's a reason why cards like Confiscation and Forceful Sentry are banned. Not just because they can remove a card, but also because you get to see the entire hand of the opponent. So this is really balanced, because it's the trade-off. Do you want to destroy Black Cat? I mean, you could also wait until the end of main phase 2, but by that point, what if you already destroyed all the opponent's monsters? Your opponent needs a monster on their field so you can actually bring this card out, you know? Pretty good. I kind of like this, to be honest. It's a little interesting, but very different than Captain America. The next one is Marvel hero Hawkeye. This one's a wind warrior. That makes sense. It's more wind-oriented, I suppose. Yeah. Level 4, okay, and it says, if a Marvel hero monster is normal summoned to your side of the field, you can target one card on the field, destroy that target. Okay, if a Marvel hero monster is normal summoned, okay, got it. You can target one card on the field, destroy that target. Once per turn, you can discard one card, then target one card on the field, destroy that target. Oh, okay, so it's all about popping. I guess it makes sense, once again, in the theme of like what Hawkeye actually does. I think you're imagining like the archer, like, you know, like each archer, each pop of a card that is destroying, it's like, you know, shooting an arrow at it. I guess that makes sense. So the first effect is not once per turn, but again, it doesn't need it because it's a normal summon. Unless you find a way to normal summon twice, then sure, you can take more advantage of that. But if it's normal summon to your side of the field, you can target one card in the field, destroy it. So it targets and destroys, which is probably the worst kind of removal. It does both, targeting and destroying. Those are the two types of protection that most modern monsters have. Targeting immunity and destruction immunity. And then once per turn you can discard a card and target a card on the field. Potentially you can destroy up to 2 cards on the field by normal summoning and discarding 1 card. Okay, 1500 attack, 1600 defense. This one's average, I would say, mainly because, I mean, back in the day this thing would be great, but in the modern era, targeting and destruction, it's going to be a little bit average at best. The next one is Marvel hero Hulk. I'm a big fan of Hulk. This one's a dark beast. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. It's a level 8 monster. Okay, 2800 attack, 2500 defense, level 8. Alright, I better have a good effect. Let's see. During the end phase of the turn this card was destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon this card from the graveyard. Okay, so if it gets destroyed by anything, card effect or battle, special summon it from the graveyard during the end phase. Okay. If you do, destroy all other monsters on the field, and this card gains 500 attack. If this card would leave the field when its attack is not its original attack, banish it instead. Oh my god, my friend is smart. My friend is smart when it comes to, you know, making these things. I kind of get it. First of all, it's like the whole, like, getting angry thing, you know, like the Hulk smash, and then his anger, you know, like, he gets attacked, destroyed, or whatever, and then, like, he's angry, so he comes back but stronger, and he smashes the board. Hulk smash. He destroys every other monster on the field, and it gains 500, so it'll go up to 3300 attack. But then, to kind of balance it out, they don't want to make that infinite, you know? Because, like, every turn you'd be able to do that if it gets destroyed. It'd be a little crazy. So that means that it can use its effect once, and then if it gets removed from the field, you know, even if it's by destruction, because its original attack is not its current attack, it's actually going to get banished instead. Yeah, and that means that it wouldn't trigger the effect anymore. So it does it once and then it goes away. Got it. Okay. That makes sense. It's a pretty neat one. Obviously, the downside is that it's a level 8 monster with no inherent special summoning condition, so it can be kind of difficult to bring this card out onto the field unless there's something within the archetype that can easily do that. We'll see. Next one is Marvel Hero Iron Man. This one's a light machine. Oh, it's also a tuner. It's a tuner, okay. I guess that makes sense, but it's more machine-like, you know. Level 4, okay. 1700 attack, 1200 defense. If you control a Marvel Hero monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, okay. Other Marvel Hero monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense. How do I feel about this one? If it wasn't a tuner, I'd say it's... Well, I don't know, I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad, because it does have a special summoning thing. You want to storm the field, so it's not bad. Oh, also, it's not a once per turn, so actually it's a lot better than I thought. If you can only special summon this card once per turn this way, then that'd be a little bit more limiting, but it's not. So as long as you have more ways to get this card back into the hand and keep controlling a Marvel Hero, you can keep special summoning this thing. So actually, I think it might be more powerful, and I think it's also a tuner, which lets you go into... As of now, level 8 synchros would be the best for Marvel Heroes, because there's been a lot of level 4s, and this one's a 4, so that'd be 8. And then other Marvel Hero monster control again, that's all, I guess, I mean, it's nice, but it's not a huge deal. It's other, so it doesn't buff itself up, or else it would be at 2000, which, you know, it'd be beyond the rule of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, if it has 2000 attack, it's gotta be a normal monster. You know. Alright. This is a pretty nice one. Okay. The next one is Marvel Hero Thor. Okay, this one is very wordy, as you can see. It's a light thunder, that makes sense. Level 6 monster, 2500 attack and defense. Let's read it. It says, once per turn, you can pay 1000 life points. Equip one Mjolnir or one Stormbreaker from your hand, deck, or graveyard to this card. Hand, deck, or graveyard. Jesus Christ. Okay. Send one... Okay, that's the first effect. So you can... Once per turn, it's a soft once per turn, not a hard once per turn. Soft once per turn, pay 1000 life points. Equip one Mjolnir or, so not both, one Mjolnir or one Stormbreaker from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Jesus, okay, that's kind of crazy. Depends on how good those cards are, but that seems a little busted. Send one Mjolnir equipped to this card to the graveyard. Destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls and inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed by this effect. Whoa. So let's equip. So you can basically drop this onto the field. I guess the difficult part is dropping it onto the field. It's a tribute monster. So you can put it on the field, pay 1000, equip a Mjolnir, and immediately send it to the graveyard to Harpy's Feather destroy the opponent and inflict burn damage. Oh my god. Send one Stormbreaker, equip this card to the graveyard, destroy all monsters. Okay, I see. Okay. And inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each card. Okay. So you get to pick. Do you want a Harpy's Feather Duster or Raigeki? I mean, I guess it's... I'm not actually going to say it's like overpowered. I don't think it is, because you could just run Raigeki or Harpy's Feather Duster instead of having to find a way to drop this thing onto the field and pay 1000 and send an equip card. Sure, you get a little bit of burn damage, which Harpy's Feather Duster and Raigeki don't do, but is it worth it for the extra burn damage? Because other than that, it's just a Harpy's Feather Duster or Raigeki. Also, the other thing is that, what about Mjolnir and Stormbreaker? What did they do, right? It's going to be important to know that too. Overall, it seems good, but it's not overpowered, despite it seeming like it is, because I don't think it is. There's also the inherent, concept of them being equip cards. Equip cards naturally don't see too much play because they're weaker than most other spell cards. Alright, let's take a look at the next card. Okay, so the next card is Mjolnir. Okay, Mjolnir is an equipped spell card, that makes sense. Equip only to Marvel Hero Thor. It gains 1000 attack. If this face-up card is sent to the graveyard, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Wait, so the Mjolnir one, didn't it destroy monsters? Let me check. No, it didn't, no. So, oh, this is interesting. Again, I don't think it's overpowered, but it's a very interesting concept. So, you could either activate this card from your hand. Okay. I mean, you can just activate the card from hand, or you can use Thor's effect to activate it from the hand. Doesn't matter, but you would use Thor's effect to activate it from the deck or graveyard, obviously, right? Okay. So, you can put it onto Thor, and it only works on Thor. goes to 3500 attack, or you can send it to the graveyard to then Harpy's Fire Duster the entire board for the opponent, do some burn damage, and also destroy one monster on the field. Interesting. Okay, what about, is the next one Stormbreaker? The answer is yes, it is Stormbreaker. Okay, so this one's also a spell card, equip spell card. You equip only to Marble Hero Thor, gains 1000 attack. If this face-up card is sent to the graveyard, target one spell or trap. Nice, okay. So you kind of get to choose, I see, either Raigeki or Harpy's Fire Duster to the board, and then you get to pop one card of the other type of card. So if you use Stormbreaker, you know, to be sent to the graveyard, you get to Raigeki the board, but then you get to destroy one spell or trap. If you send Mjolnir, you get to Harpy's Feather Duster to the board, and then you get to destroy one monster. Interesting. They also give it 1000 attack, which is, that's mediocre. It's like an Axe of Despair, basically. But the interesting concept about this is that they can be equipped from the deck or graveyard. And that's something that is actually really good, because if they didn't have that effect, these cards would not see play at all, you know? They'd be terrible. You have to have them on the hand, and they only work if you have a Thor, which means they'd be dead in any other case. In spite of being a, you know, board wipe, they wouldn't see any play. But because it can be equipped from the deck or graveyard, that actually makes a lot of interesting plays with this. I don't actually know how overpowered this would be. I don't know. Alright, so there's one card left, and it actually was not a Synchro monster. I thought there was going to be a level 8 Synchro monster in these because of Iron Man being a level 4 tuner, but there's not. So this one is called Avengers Assemble. Okay, that's their iconic line. If you control a Marvel hero, Captain America, I guess that makes sense, right? I mean, he's the iconic one that's known for saying Avengers Assemble, the leader of the Avengers. If you control a Marvel hero, Captain America, pay 2000 life points. Then target any number of Marvel hero monsters in your graveyard. Special summon those targets. They cannot be used as Synchro, Xyz, or Link material. Also banish them during the end phase of this turn. Whoa. Okay, I think it's nerfed good enough. Obviously everybody knows that mass special summoning from the graveyard is busted. There's a reason why cards like Soul Charge are completely broken and forbidden, and why other cards like Rekindling would be forbidden if they actually had a good archetype, you know, that work with them. But I don't know. I mean, there's other cards that are kind of similar, like I think Ties of the Brethren is like that, but that one's that one's a lot more limiting, I would say, and this one has some similar aspects to it. So first of all, you need to have a Marvel hero Captain America on the field. That's already something that makes it a little bit difficult to activate, because you need specifically Marvel hero Captain America. You then have to pay 2000 life points, which is it's like Ties of the Brethren again, so that's not too bad. Or like Dimension Fusion, those kind of things. That's not a huge limiting factor. Target any number of Marvel hero monsters. So the interesting thing here is that it's not level 4 or lower, it's any. So you can bring out your powerful ones like Thor and Hulk. That's a way to bring them back. Okay? So if you can find a way to get them to the graveyard, you can then bring them back like this. They also don't have their effects negated. I don't know how crazy that's going to be, but that's very interesting. You special summon them, you get to choose either attack or defense. Okay, so lots of good stuff. But then it says it cannot be used as Synchro, Xyz, or Link material and banish them during... Okay, that's actually good that they did that. He did that, because if you could use them as material, they'd be so broken. So broken. Because then you wouldn't have to worry about the banishing during the end phase. You can just bring them all out, you know, go into a bunch of Xyz, sling plays, whatever, and then those new monsters can actually attack, and they won't be banished during the end phase. I thought I was going to say something like you can't conduct your battle phase, like Soul Charge. I think it's balanced. I might be wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't know. That's the last card, so let me know what you think about all these. Once again, I am curious about like your opinion on which of these you think is the best and which of these you think is the worst. Like if these were actually released, like in real life, you know, which one do you think would be the best Marvel hero card from all these 9 or so, and which one is the worst? You can also kind of like mention a comment and say like which one you think is the most intriguing or unique effect that you've seen, and you know, whatever. I mean, you can leave whatever you want. I'm just throwing some ideas out there for commenting, but okay, that's it for that. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the whole submitting custom cards, like I was saying. So that's only if the series becomes popular enough. If it's popular enough, kind of like what other YouTubers are doing, you know, that they actually take custom card submissions. So a couple rules to custom cards that I actually designed just to kind of make it a little bit more streamlined and more quality-like. The first thing is, obviously it's difficult to, you know, send custom cards through YouTube, like DMing and that stuff through YouTube. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I would advise you to go over to Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to follow me. If you follow me on Instagram, I actually know that, you know, that you are, you know, one of my subscribers, so make sure to do that on Instagram or Twitter, depending on what platform. I think in the end I might go more with Twitter, but we'll try Instagram too, through DMing. You can send pictures like that too, so we'll see what happens. So make sure to, you know, use one of those platforms. The other thing that I'm also going to ask is try to do your absolute best on problem-solving card decks. I'm not saying it needs to be perfect. My friend here actually did a pretty good job with this. It's very similar to what actually, you know, PSET is in real life. There were only a few minor mistakes. That's fine. Do your best with it. I'm not asking for it to be perfect, but, you know, it makes a much better experience for me to read them and interpret them, and also for the viewers to go ahead and see, you know. Try to do archetypes or group togethers. Try to expand beyond what already exists. You can totally do that, but like this, obviously Marvel Hero doesn't exist in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? The next thing is that, I mean, I don't want you to just submit like 1 or 2, you know, that'd be too little. I would say try to shoot for like at least 5 or 6 cards within, you know, your custom cards within that group or archetype or, you know, thematic similarity or whatever it is that you do. And I think that's actually it. Make sure the artwork is appropriate enough, not some crazy, ridiculous stuff, because I am gonna, if I get a bunch of inappropriate stuff, I'm gonna have to just ignore them, obviously, you know, like I can't, it should be pretty common sense in terms of what is actually, you know, appropriate or not. Other than that, I believe that's it. So again, Twitter, Instagram, make sure to follow me on either of those platforms, and then send me your stuff through DMing there. Make sure to include like at least 5 or 6, preferably more, but no more than like 10, I would say. Anywhere from 5 to 10 is reasonable. Do your best with the problem-solving card text and grammar as well, and I guess that's basically it for the rules. So that's if it kicks off. I don't know if it will be popular, but I'm giving you all a chance, you know, to go ahead and do that. Other than that, that's actually it for this first custom card review video. I think it was a good one. I think it's a good start. You gotta thank my friend Tony for this once again, for doing these a couple months ago. So yeah, I like that. I may actually do some of my own eventually in the later too. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, as always, don't forget to leave that like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you enjoyed the video. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day.